So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
No one said that the Milwaukee Brewers would be in the running to win the division. Not only did you win the division, you crushed it. All right? What do you say?
I'm covered in goosebumps, and I'm not sure if it's because we are live on Inside Wisconsin Sports from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Trevor Thomas, Josh Alrech. Josh, do you got goosebumps? Is that because we're actually doing this, or we won the Central?
We are doing it. I'm wearing the shirt. We bought all the gear. Let's go. Let's go.
We bought the gear.
All of it.
Yeah, there are so many things I have to learn about you, and one can only stalk a friend's Facebook page for so long.
Oh yeah, we're going to get into that.
I have a top 5 list of the 5 things I learned about Josh Alrech by stalking his Facebook page over the weekend. That's 100% happening here on the show. Josh, holy buckets, man. We're here. We did it. We're finally live, scrambling behind the scenes, but yet on the air, and so happy to be here. How are you, brother?
I'm good. I'm excited. A lot of the things that happened this morning will continue to happen. This is part of radio. But it was pretty fun having it be right out the gate.
Yep. That's things you sign up for when you wake up at 4 a.m. and you try to make everything work between then and 5 and then now 6 and a brand new show and brand new listeners and a brand new talk and text line, which we would love to hear from you this morning. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250, 1250. Get with us. Josh, I can fix that. I just got your message. Talk for a second.
Yeah, go ahead. Do that while I say how excited I am to be talking to the people again, to talk to Milwaukee about the sports teams that we love. I know that there were a lot of things that happened yesterday. The whole weekend was quite a roller coaster, but to be able to end it by celebrating being NL Central Division champs, man, it feels good. Feels good to be here this morning, wearing the shirt, celebrating that, and doing it with the city of Milwaukee.
Buy all the gear. So what's this buy all the gear thing? I need to learn these things about you. You last night called me on the way to AmFam Field.
I did.
And you said, I'm going to buy all the gear.
Yes.
And I said, good for you. But I feel like there's more to that. So what is this buy all the gear stuff?
Well, see, so there are some people who, when a team, one of our teams, wins something, right? They wait. They don't get the shirt. They won't get the NL Central Division champs shirt because they're waiting for the NLDS champs shirt. Or they're waiting for, well, I don't care. If it's not the World Series, I'm not going to buy it. Screw that. Screw that. Every single time that you have the opportunity to buy a championship gear, your team that you love and you follow all year long did something of significance. Celebrate that. Buy all the gear. That's where it came from.
Buy all the gear. So I love it. You're there taking pictures. We had something to celebrate yesterday.
Yes.
We did. Even though it wasn't with a victory on our part for the Brewers, but leave it to the Cubs to the bed yet again and create some bubbly fun for the Brewers in St. Louis. So thank God for that.
Yes.
The Packers game?
That was the worst. It was
the worst.
Yeah, that's how I describe it. It was the worst. Okay.
We opened this show by talking about how much of an eternal optimist I am, and you call yourself a realist. And I use finger quotes because I got a healthy portion of your realism during the game via text yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have some rules, I think. Because I'm over here going, guys, we're up 10-0. Josh, it's going to be okay. Okay, we're up 10-3. It's going to be okay. You know what? We're tied. It's going to be okay. And then it wasn't okay. So I understand that there is a fear of the way things trend. But what did you know that I didn't know yesterday? Because you called it. I hate to say that.
Well, I knew that you put it out into the universe that you tested fate. You tested fate. You jinxed it. You put a tweet out saying, I cannot wait for the Brewers to clinch the Central an hour after the Packers crush the Browns. And then the next day we start the greatest morning show ever.
Wow, you're paraphrasing, aren't we?
Nah, I'm pretty sure that was about it. And I went, oh, no. No, you can't. You can't. You got to be careful. It's like if you had wishes from a genie. You ever seen that to where they're like, you got to be very specific with the wish that you make from the genie, or, they're going to spin it and then it's going to be awful. It's the same thing. If you guarantee, right, if you say this is going to happen, you're testing fate of making it not happen.
So to be totally transparent, not that it's not on public domains like X.com, what I said was the Brewers will clinch the division within an hour of the Packers beating the Browns, and Monday morning will be the greatest day ever to start a new sports talk morning show here in Wisconsin. So then, knowing that this was going to come up, I went back and just fact-checked myself. Did the Brewers clinch the division?
They
Check.
did. Yes.
Yeah, check. Within an hour of the Packers game ending? Check.
I don't know about that, but that's
I do know about that.
Oh, you're positive? Okay.
Damn well this was going to come up in
All right.
conversation.
All right, good.
Did the Packers win?
No, they did not.
Can't get them all. And is this not the greatest day ever to start a new sports talk morning show in Wisconsin?
It's a great day. It's a great day.
Last I checked, I got 3 out of the 4 correct. Okay, that's what optimism sounds like, Josh. That's so. Breathe it in.
But
cool place
realism is also saying you got 3 of the 4 correct. See, that's what I'm saying. You don't understand. I'm not denying or disagreeing with the fact that 3 of the 4 things you said came true, and I was very happy to celebrate the fact that the Brewers are NL Central Division champs. I would have loved if they won. I would have loved if the Packers won, as I know you would have too. I'm just a person that is not going to put out there, hey, this is going to happen. I'm going to wait for it to happen and then celebrate it when it does.
I'm a dreamer. It is fun to dream. I just never dreamt that there would be a blocked field goal at that position in the game. Packers to win it, not so much. And then our defense, it felt like everything went awry quickly.
I'm not mad at our defense at all.
In that moment, I think you should be a little bit, don't you think?
Why?
Don't we have a job to do at that point to maybe keep them from scoring points at the end of the game?
Well, he kicked a 55-yard field goal. How many yards did their offense even really gain?
I think 56. Not that many.
Okay.
It was bad. It was a long day of football, though, yesterday during that Packers game. Wasn't it? It felt sloppy.
It was awful. It was awful. The defense did all they could. The defense was on the field way too much. The defense held them still to 13 points. There's no argument against this defense still being elite. The offense went up against another elite defense. That's what happened yesterday, and they were exposed. They were exposed yesterday.
Yeah, 14 penalties on the Packers did not help.
Also true.
Jordan Morgan's going to run so much this week, he's going to puke. Because if he has one more false start, I'm not sure what we're going to do with ourselves. I think there was 3. Am I right? There was 3 false starts by Jordan Morgan. I know that Micah Parsons was lined up in the neutral zone or offsides 3 times. What do we attest that to? When the Packers come out 2-0, first road trip against the team that they should have beat. We have 14 penalties. That, let's be honest, that was amongst not scoring touchdowns until the third quarter. That really hurt yesterday. How do we clean that up? I know they're going to try, but that was a lot. And this is like a little yesteryear type stuff. We dealt with this last year a lot too. A lot of penalties, especially early in the season. One can blame the coaching staff and go, oh, you got to have the players ready. But this is also the 3rd year in a row the Packers are the youngest team in the NFL. And although we can go, sweet, young, strapping men, we also go, ooh, young, strapping men.
Yeah, just because they're the youngest team, that I'm not using that as an excuse. This was lack of preparation and discipline, which to me falls on coaching. That's a coaching issue. You got to have your boys ready. They weren't ready.
He ate the crow right after the game and said that play call for Jordan to throw it on third down when he ultimately threw the pick that started the wheels
downfall.
falling off.
Yeah.
That was the day he took that one and said that wasn't a great call. But all in all, I guess there's a lot to clean up, and we do it this week before the Packers head to Dallas, which I am headed to. Yeah, let's start a new morning show. And oh, by the way, I'll see you. I'm out on Friday. You guys have a great time. I'm going to Dallas. That's just how these things happen, though, man. You work towards something, but you can't stop your life. And we had this trip planned to Dallas for a long time, and we're super jacked. And that was before Micah Parsons was gifted to the Green Bay Packers from Dallas. This could be really interesting. So I was super confident going into yesterday's game that if we were to lose, it wouldn't look like that. We'll be fine heading into Dallas. But now what are we supposed to think, Josh? Like, help me set the state of affairs at 2-1 after week 3 headed to Dallas.
I still think that teams are scared of this defense. I don't think that the view on the defense changes from the rest of the NFL. I think that the offense needs to go out there and prove that this last Sunday that was a fluke. That was a fluke. And that's not what the rest of the NFL should expect from this Packers offense. Because the rest of the Sharks are smelling, they're seeing blood in the water. And you can't have that. This cannot be a season of, all right, well, they have an elite defense, but as long as we stop their offense, we can win games 13-10. That narrative has to stop in week 3. And so, honestly, the Cowboys are also trying to figure a lot of things out right now, right? Cowboys are not having a great season so far. So, I'm looking at it as a great week to prove that, right? Come back, week 4. First of all, you're going to Jerry World, which historically the Packers have done pretty darn well. So use this and say that was a fluke. Don't look at week 3. It happened. It's over. Week 4, this is the Packers team you're gonna have to be used to.
All right, flush it. We'll flush that one. When we record those liners that play over the weekend, by the way, we record some that go, all right, can't wait to talk about the big Packers victory Monday morning inside Wisconsin Sports, all new lineup, all the things.
Yeah.
And then they make you record one that says, boo, can't believe we took that one.
Well, you didn't record one that said they were going to lose, right? Because you're just Mr. Optimist. And why would you have to record a loss when they were just going to win, right?
Me. That's not a question for me.
Oh.
I do what I'm told.
Oh, but you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have, right? Because they just always winning all the time. Right.
It felt dirty doing it. It felt dirty doing it.
Yeah. You see how wrong that is? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really wrong. We got to do something about that. Oh, look, the Nicolay Law fan talking text line is open and people are chiming in. 414-677-1250 is how you get a hold of Josh and I here on the all-new Inside Wisconsin Sports. Jacob in a van, Josh and Trevor together on the radio. LFG, buy all the gear.
Yeah, baby.
So it's been a minute since you've been here, Josh, on the radio airwaves in Milwaukee. How does it feel to be back, brother?
Man, it feels amazing. Like, seriously, I feel like a part of me was missing, and this morning it's back. It's been a little over a year since I've been doing sports talk radio, and yeah, this is everything. This feels right. I feel at home, and you know, I appreciate everyone that's been sending messages and honestly, just even when I wasn't on air, running into me saying, "Hey, we miss you so much. You know, I hope you're doing well. Seeing the family, everything. Everyone's been so kind, and I'm just jacked, man. I'm just jacked to be back."
Last night, I was getting a lot of questions of, "Hey, man, you ready? Like, I know you've been working towards this a long time. Everybody's excited. How you doing? What's going on? What's happening?" And I said, "Yeah, I think I'm ready. But we are creating this show from scratch, and I think that's the crazy fun part about this."
Great.
There will be some brand new segments today that you will look forward to hearing every single day here on Inside Wisconsin Sports. We're going to have a guest at the 740 block. I'm not going to say who it is. You're just going to want to tune into that. I got a text over the weekend that said, "Am I guest number 1 or am I guest number 1?" And I said, turns out you're guest number 1. That's
good.
I think we can make that happen.
Yeah.
You guys, I know I'm getting old because I was pretty excited to listen to 6 a.m. radio today. 262 on the Nicolay Law fan talk and text line. 677-1250. Josh is here. Trevor is here. It is Inside Wisconsin Sports, in and on your radio. Also live on YouTube. Go to YouTube and search at The Fan Milwaukee. You can see our mugs there.
That's right.
Live.
At 6 in the morning.
Boy, the bag's under my eyes.
Did you sleep at all?
I was a good boy last night,
yeah?
too. Like, I did not partake in any of the festivities that I could have and I normally would have on a Sunday during a Packer game. I think I slept great. I feel good. I feel rested. It was a little hectic this morning. I mean, but that's all the things that typically go into something like this on live radio. Oh, you can't hear me? Sweet. We can fix that, I think. But let me scramble to the point where I'm sweating through my shirt. I've got that man, like, I don't know. I don't want to point it out on the YouTube screen.
Yeah.
I've got some of the soilage at, what is it?
That's way worse.
6:18 in the morning.
Just, using the word soilage is way worse than anything else you thought you were going to say beforehand.
Well, I remember the deodorant at 4:15 in the morning, so that should save me for a little while.
Soilage. Gross.
Soilage. Kirsten from Green Bay, so excited about this show. We are too. Trevor, as a fill-in every once in a while on a different radio station. Josh in the past as well. Glad that you guys are together. We appreciate you, Nick, in Greenfield.
Yeah, Nick. Man.
Yeah, Nick. I thought you were going to be like, yeah, Nick, and then say something about Nick. No,
yeah, Nick, I remember. Here's
Nick.
The thing. I remember a lot of these guys, Jacob in the van, Nick in Greenfield. Some of these guys were literally listening to me for years, and I'm just happy they're with me here now, too. I appreciate you guys.
It's neat to see that come through, right? I mean, I know that our voices have been heard here in Milwaukee for some time. You've been a minute. I've been more regular, more recent, but together again, and it feels really, really good. All right, so let's run down the show here for a little bit. We're going to carry over some of the things that we talked about to start the morning here into the next segment. Lots of Packers conversation. Brewers, NL champs in the Central Division, again for the third year in a row. Does it feel like it's the third year in a row, or does this feel like just something that I guess is going to be regular? And now let's see how the playoffs go for the Brewers. I want to talk about that. There was a lot of chatter over the weekend about the Wisconsin Badgers football team. And although there's not much to talk about, frankly, there is all the optics that you can imagine. Did you see the picture from yesterday with the Badgers athletic director and a particular coach sitting in a box with him at the Wisconsin volleyball game?
Sure did.
Mike McCarthy all of a sudden showing up in red gear with a big Badgers W on the chest. And all of Wisconsin went, whoa, didn't see that coming. I had to explain to my oldest son last night what the definition of optics is. When one has a weekend like they do, and the chants start coming out of Camp Randall Stadium as they were, in fire fickle.
Yeah.
And then Mike McCarthy shows up in the AD's box the next day. That is the definition of optics, son. And you'll learn as you get older how you can control said optics and make choices, and maybe just how you can't. Brewers, Packers, Badgers, and so much more. We are off and running and so stoked to be here with you. Man, Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Welcome back, everyone, to Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. And Runaway Train makes perfect sense. We already talked about this morning how we had just getting connected. First day, sometimes they call it gremlins in the board. There are things going on. Well, we're still working through those. We're going to have Trevor back here in a minute. I got to give a huge shout out, though, and I'm going to bring him on right now to our boy Tommy. Tommy, welcome in this morning.
Oh, good morning. Hey, tell that 740 guy not the first guest anymore.
Yeah, that's
What's
right.
up?
That's right. Tommy, the first guest. I love this. Tommy has been, if you're a new listener to the Fan, Tommy, how long have you been with the Fan?
Last September, so about a year, little over a year, almost 13 months.
Little over a year. Let me tell you, Tommy is. I love the hustle. All right, Tommy is pure hustle. Tommy knew, okay, first day, things are going to happen. We got to make sure it goes. It's a morning show, okay? Now, I was doing a morning show essentially the entire time I'm doing Milwaukee radio.
Yeah.
And if things go wrong in the morning, usually you're finding audio to play, you're scrambling, it's just you're talking alone, you're reading a lot of text messages, praying they're there, because it's just you in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
My boy Tommy slept in the studio last night.
Oh yeah, I'm for the people, man. I'm for the people.
That is dedication, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I come in here this morning. It is 4:00 in the morning when I pull in to these studios here. I see one car in the parking lot, and I'm going, all right, either that car just never moves, or that's Tommy. Come in the studio, there he is, sleeping like a baby in the studio on the couch. I'm going, my man. That is the dedication I'm looking for. Now, because you were sleeping, I was so appreciative. I was like, all right. I'm going to sneak out. I'm going to do a little bit of prep. I'm going to let you get a few more, minutes of snooze time. But I appreciate you being here, man, especially now as we try to figure this out with Trevor. Let me get your thoughts just before anything, just on the weekend.
Yeah.
Weekend in general, quite a roller coaster. Take me through it in the mind of Tommy.
Mind of Tommy, the weekend. I felt everything everyone in Wisconsin felt over the weekend in the world of sports, right? I lived the ups and downs with the Packer game with you yesterday. The Badger game on Saturday was just an absolute dumpster fire. And as far as the Brewers go, like I think everything's good over the weekend. I wanted to be a little more. I don't really necessarily love the celebrate when you lose attitude. I understand you got to have like something when you're talking about, hey, they clinched and let's go for it. But I'd like to just celebrate when you win. Looked awesome yesterday, and everyone was having a good time in the clubhouse of Busch Stadium. And I don't feel sorry for ruining the carpet in Busch Stadium locker room.
Yeah.
But as far as everything goes, like I felt it the same way you did. It was a roller coaster, and we have a new lineup here starting this week. So everyone was on that edge too, it felt like.
It's very true. I agree with you. I also do not care at all about the carpeting. And I feel like anyone that does worry about that doesn't understand how these things work. Okay. First of all, these are MLB teams. They're okay. Like whatever the carpeting bill is for that one room within the stadium, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. They're paying millions and millions and millions of dollars to individuals to play a sport. They can replace the carpeting. I do think it's a little ironic and funny that it was the Brewers that got to do it, knowing that the Cardinals, it's the only champagne celebration that's going to happen in that stadium this season, right? There's not going to be one for St. Louis. There's not going to be one for anyone else.
Good point.
I don't think anyone else plays St. Louis that has the opportunity to clinch something in the next 6 games. I guess I'm not positive about the rest of their schedule, whatever their 6 games are, but you got to be okay with it. It happens everywhere. It's happened at American Family Field. I'm sure it's happened there too. Seeing all of the social media posts that were like, oh man, they destroyed the. Calm down. This is what happens in locker rooms. It's fine.
Do we have Trevor back? I mean, I see him.
Trevor, you there? Hey. Nope.
No, I don't. Oh, nope. He can hear me, but he can't hear us. Okay, sorry. I completely agree, Josh. Like, they're going to have the celebration no matter what. And why not do it on the visiting, do it in the visiting clubhouse from there? And I understand they make millions and millions of dollars. I'm saying from a winner-loser perspective, I would rather just celebrate after winning the game, not because someone else lost, right? That's where I'm going with it with my brain. And especially with this Brewers team this season, on how it has all been like, this is on us, right? This is on our team. Like, no one believed in us.
Yeah.
And then to have it on someone else's merit feels weird, feels a little dirty when it's talking about the Brewers this season.
Well, okay. I kind of agree with you, kind of not. First, you can't always win at home, right? It can't always be the parties in your place.
For sure, yeah.
Sometimes that happens. The fact that the Bucks won the championship at home was amazing. I'm so glad that got to happen. But there was still no guarantee that happened. You can't, beggars can't be choosers. You want to win, you won. You can't guarantee that it's going to be in your house. That being said, the way that they won, the way that they clinched is what kind of had me bummed, and then I had to snap myself out of it, right? The fact that they lost and then sat around to then see the Cubs lose, I was like, okay. Well, yay. Hey, we're still division champs, right? And you had to take a step back, and you had to be like, you had to look at the whole season, and you had to appreciate everything that happened over the last 150, however many games, and how they got to this point. And you had to celebrate that, and you had to celebrate the fact that, again, they were division champions. But in the moment, right, I was a little disappointed. I was a little disappointed that I didn't get that call from BA or from Jeff Levering saying, and that's the game, and your NL Central Division champion Brewers have gone back to back to back. We didn't get that call. Right? That stunk. I didn't,
It didn't stop any of the celebration in the clubhouse by any means.
You told this team that they've been resilient, they've been undaunted. To do this 3 years in a row, and now 5 times since 2018, what does that say about the caliber of how you guys have competed?
Like I've always said, it's about the who that's in the room. And these are the right guys. They know how to play, they know how to win, they know how to bounce back. That's what's special.
Well, Yelly's been in the middle of all of that since 2018. You think about Yelly, Woody, Freddie, what they've done to establish excellence and the level of competition that you demand.
Yelly brings that standard of how to play the game. He understands the little things. This team does the little things. And Yelly's the one that sets that tone. He means the world to this team, way beyond the numbers.
How have you relied?
Konnichiwa.
How have you relied on so many different players to contribute, whether it's rookies or your veterans, to step up with so much adversity, Murph?
Yeah, I got to credit the front office, and I got to credit the coaching staff. They just keep getting as much as they can out of each player. It's not a matter of experience. It's not a matter of, whether or not they've done it before. They exude confidence and conviction, and guys step up and do it. The standards are high.
Thanks, Murph, for the time. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
That highlight, audio courtesy, FanDuel Sports Network. Pat Murphy bumping with Sophia there, the entire time. And yesterday it got brought up on the Green Bay football postgame show, which you can hear after every Packers game with me and Sparky. The playlist of anyone in the office who is going to have control of the playlist. And I said, well, I don't know everyone enough. I just know you would be last. Like Sparky's playlist, 100%, not getting near the celebration. And, you got to have those moments, because it did feel like, the Brewers didn't do that after clinching a postseason berth. And the Cubs did celebrate, oh, we made the postseason with a bunch of champagne everywhere. Like, that was maybe more loser talk than this situation. Obviously, with the Brewers, they waited till they were NL Central champs. Now they have, obviously they're going to be in contention for the 1 seed still this year. And on top of it, they're also going to have a chance to break their team record for most wins in a season.
Correct.
After looking back at it in hindsight, like, you got to have some time to celebrate with the boys.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's different, too, than just celebrating making it into the postseason because you haven't won anything.
Right.
Right? Technically, making it into the postseason is not winning something.
Yeah, really. The Cubs just celebrated being the first losers.
Continuing to play baseball.
Yeah, right.
Congratulations. You have won the opportunity to continue playing baseball. The division might not be the end goal, but you did win the division if you're the Milwaukee Brewers.
Right.
I am like, all right, so because I didn't see, I mean, on the broadcast, I couldn't tell. Was that just like they plugged someone's phone in or something into like the speaker system? Did they have someone there DJing?
No, there was not. No, DJ Shauna did not
DJ
travel
Shauna,
with the
not
team.
see?
No, it was it was some sort of speaker system.
Yeah. Well, then you wonder too, right? Like you said, like I wonder how they got the playlist because that playlist was bumping and those boys were celebrating, which was great. And we, by the way, are celebrating here on the Fan with our brand new lineup. Want to go through that with you quickly. So it is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor Thomas and Josh Alrech, yours truly, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. Then we have 9 to noon with John Kuhn. Hey, I know him. And Rami Makloff and Brandon Snide, who's going to be with them as well. Then noon to 2 is the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis, presented by Verizon. Then 2 to 5 is going to be Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's with Sparky as well. And then the Fan postgame show with you, Tom. You're doing double duty. Not only are you on earlier, but then you're going to do that hour by yourself as well.
Correct. Yeah.
What are you going to do on that postgame show?
Basically, we're just going to grab clips from the day and react to them. And probably today it'll be a lot of screaming from 5 to 6.
Oh, that's weird.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I don't know why that would be the case. I mean, listen, but seriously, like, I am someone, and you'll learn this, Tommy. I'm someone that usually I would kind of be with you, right? Of just being a person that feels the need to focus on the negative, focus on everything that could go wrong. Do you not find yourself today, though, trying to take that step back so that you can just focus on the fact that they won the Central? Like, give yourself a 1-day buffer before, like, hold back on all of the anger inside of you right now and just celebrate. Hey, I waited all summer to be able to celebrate winning the Central. I'm doing that today.
If we wouldn't have overreacted the last 2 weeks, then maybe I wouldn't overreact today. But you got to match the energy with what we were giving out the weeks before, in my opinion, at least.
So what? So because you weren't focusing on that then, you can't focus on it now? Is that what you're saying?
Like, I like to know what's the, not to say that the Brewers winning the Central isn't important, but we all know, like, Packers is going to take a lot of priority today. And I think that we should just dive right into it, open it up. That's what everyone wants to hear. Everyone wants to hear reaction to what happened in Cleveland yesterday. So, yeah, I'm going to lean into it as hard as I can.
Okay. See, I'm kind of like the Hulk, right? It's very easy for me to get angry, right? And so right now I'm trying to keep the blood pressure down, not go to that place, stay calm, don't get angry. But I feel like you're pushing me, Tommy. You're pushing me to get angry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know that you're going to like me when I'm angry.
Yeah, but I'd like to see what you look like angry.
Okay. All right. Because I was very angry yesterday. Tommy, I was very angry, and a lot of people told me to calm down, celebrate the positive things, celebrate the Central, winning the Central. That's what I was told.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to get a little angry when we come back on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports. Live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What is this? I missed one segment due to some technical difficulties, and now everybody's sad and mad. What is going on?
No. Tommy said he wants to see me mad. He wants to just get into it. Tommy is someone, I said to him, I was trying to be like you, Trevor, okay? I was trying to stay positive. You know, you're the power of positivity guy. And I was trying to just celebrate the one positive thing that happened over the weekend, which was the fact that the Brewers are NL Central Division champions. That was it. I was trying to focus on that. And Tommy, who, is here, and, we heard the whole Tommy story, how he slept here. He's the man helping us out. I said, I was going through it. How was your weekend? How did you? And he was like, I just want to get into it. I want to get into it. I want to just rip the Band-Aid off and talk about the Packers. It's what everyone wants to do. I just want to vent about this game. And I went, boy.
All right, so I'll give you three things. I want you to tell me the three things that you're most upset by in regards to the game yesterday. And the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line is open, 414-677-1250. Thanks for all the kind texts, by the way. We really appreciate you guys checking in with us. Look forward to the show. Great to hear Josh and Trevor back on the radio airwaves. It's just awesome. It feels great. Our apologies for the technical difficulties. We'll figure it out. Day one, right? You're going to have these things on day one. And so we need to go over. Geez, I missed one segment. Now we're off to the negative. All right, I'll try this. I'm going to try this, and then we'll see how it feels on the back end, right? What are the three things that you're most annoyed by with the Packers yesterday? I think there are some things to celebrate. I really do. Josh and I talked about that via text last night. I thought the defense played great for the vast majority of the game. I think Lucas Van Ness and Rashawn Gary are the biggest beneficiaries of Micah Parsons coming to the Green Bay Packers. It was nice to see those guys again. Lucas is kind of coming out of his shell a little bit. The pass rush was really good. Offensively, we made a lot of third downs into first downs. But if there are three things, Josh, what are the three things that, I guess, rage you the most about the game yesterday?
Penalties.
Yeah, bad.
The special teams and the offense, specifically just offensive line, but offense.
So let's start there. Let's start with the offense and the offensive line in particular. Apparently, a gentleman with the last name of Tom on the offensive line for the Packers was not ready to go.
No.
Whatever injury he ran into on the very first snap of the game was the exact same injury that was going to potentially hold him out of the entire game. So, whoops.
Yeah, and LaFleur said, that's on me. That's on me, everyone. Clearly, starting Tom was this early. Bringing him back was a mistake as he re-injured. I think it was oblique.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, coach. That one's on him.
Literally, first play of the game, incomplete pass from Love to Golden. No, it was a completed pass, and then Zach Tom's hurt.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we talked about this on the air last week. The number one receiver is clearly Matthew Golden now. Like, he was the beneficiary of by far the most opportunities for catches yesterday. The most targets. Caught a lot of them, not all of them. All right, so that's one. The offensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number two, special teams. What was wrong with the majority of the special teams?
I mean, that's what you talk about with the end of the game.
One play. Whelan was incredible for the rest of the game. Our punter was on one yesterday, thank God.
Yeah, because he got a lot of use.
Played really well. So there was one particular thing that went wrong on that last kick.
It was the most important thing, though.
I'm not sure what Tucker Kraft was looking for in terms of blocking. Did he just have the wrong assignment? Was that guy not supposed to be there? That seemed like if you're playing Super Tecmo Bowl back in the day, that was the guy that you chose to get the field goal block or the extra point block, and you could figure it out. That is the easiest thing in the video game history ever, is to block an extra point or field goal on Tecmo Bowl. And you chose that player because apparently that guy on the offensive line doesn't block that person. holy crap, that didn't need to happen in real life yesterday, but that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
All right, so those are two. What was your third one?
Penalties.
What's
defend this one.
No, there's no defending this.
Okay, thank you.
14 penalties yesterday for the Green Bay Packers. 6 alone between Jordan Morgan and Micah Parsons. Many of them hurt. The worst things ever at the wrong times. There's no good time for a penalty, but did it not seem like it was the worst timing ever for penalties yesterday?
Well, of course it's going to feel that way when there's 14 of them. Yeah. You know, it's not like they had a great day, but the 3 penalties that got called on them were monumental placement. There were 14, but they were everywhere. And so it's not that any penalty sucks, but 14 of them, it's like, okay, you just throw your hands in the air and you go, I can't even tell you one specific, they were all bad. They all hurt.
I didn't see LaFleur lose his gourd on the sidelines with some of those penalties. I was taking a lot of notes yesterday because let's get a job in radio, they said, and you can't watch the game like a normal person anymore. You got to chart things and this, that, third down and all that.
Oh,
I did not, although we did see, and it would be awesome if you had this sounder ready somehow, Josh, which you probably don't. No, you don't. It's staying on. Let's not do that. You had me grab and some audio yesterday that there was a particular person that made a challenge in the beginning of the game, and it actually was a good one. And they said that on TV yesterday. Matt LaFleur's challenge was a good one.
Yeah. I stopped in my tracks. I went, he said, what now?
Yeah. Go grab that audio, Trev.
Yeah.
Grab that quick, because that's not normal.
You don't hear that. You don't hear that often enough.
There were some things that went well yesterday, but it certainly did not look like the team that showed up for week 1 and week 2. And I think that's the hardest pill to swallow. There's a chance that this was overlooked. There's a lot of hype this week going to Dallas. Micah Parsons returning to Jerry's world. Man, I should bring a thank you card. Actually, you know what? We're going to do this right now on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. I will be in Dallas this weekend. I want you guys to text us your thank you note to Jerry Jones for Micah Parsons. And I will take these texts and put them in a giant thank you note and leave it at Jerry's World on behalf of the Green Bay Packers and Wisconsin. So text it in. Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. What's your message to Jerry Jones? I'm going to leave it. I think I'm going to get a tour. And I'm going to slip it under his door or something.
I like that.
I don't want to get arrested though. That would be bad.
No,
Text him in. What's your message to Jerry Jones?
I would say, hey, Jerry, thank you so much for believing you're always right. I mean, it's all about the confidence with him, you know?
Yeah.
And it bites him and bites him and bites him again. And I just appreciate the fact that he does not stop. He could have been wrong once or 1,000 times. He'll still be right the next time. Thanks, Jerry. That's what I would say.
I expected you to rage a little bit here, Josh. Like we were talking about some of the things that need to be corrected, and Tommy wanted you to get mad.
Listen, there's a lot of things, and there's a whole rest of a show to do it. Okay, and I'm trying really hard to not get super upset right now. Okay, there's a lot of things to be excited about. A lot of people texting in on the NicolayLaw.com talk and text line, which I appreciate, saying, guys, welcome back. Great to hear Josh back on the radio waves from Mike and Brookfield. I'm taking all that in. It is helping keep the blood pressure down right now.
I like that. I'm appreciative of that. Although that deep breath in and deep breath out tells me there's something coming.
Oh, there's
something
breath.
coming.
Deep breath.
What is coming next on Inside Wisconsin Sports? We have a great show planned. We've had a long time to plan this show, and we have a lot cooking behind the scenes. So we're getting through it. But at the top of the next hour, we created a brand new segment called the Morning Mind Dump. What do you need to get off your chest? What happened over the weekend? What was it about your favorite Wisconsin sports team? Was it Badger football that's got you cranked on a Monday morning? The Packers blocked field goal and essential worst collapse Since when, Josh? What's this? Can we compare?
Oh boy, no, it's just fresh. I don't know that we wouldn't be going back very far to find the most recent collapse.
Man, this one feels worse than a lot of the other ones, though, doesn't it?
It's just because it's fresh.
Feels very
a lot of
Super
frustrating
Bowl-ish.
losses.
Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Stay here. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here. A 43-yard field goal try for the lead.
On the right hash, Daniel Wheelan the hold. The kick is blocked. It is blocked. The Browns get the swat and turn the Packers away.
What is up, Wisconsin? Welcome in Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Join us on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line 414-677-1250, or live on YouTube if you really want to see Josh in the gear and me in the shirt that says home field. Man, it's good to be back. We are here. And it is time for a Monday morning mind dump. Let's just get it all off our chests. Let's figure out all the things, talk about all of the weekend's roller coaster rides. But we got to do that first with our first caller. No pressure.
First caller.
No pressure, John and Franklin. First one ever. John, thanks for buzzing in on Inside Wisconsin Sports. What's up?
What's up is we want to thank you guys. We're just so glad to have more local radio sports talk in this town, because we went through a period of time where I was going out of my mind with some of your contemporaries out there. I couldn't stand listening to them. I couldn't. So I had to go national, and we all know how that goes. Anyway, on the Packers front, I couldn't fit my complaints in 3, but I can get it down to 4. And I'd like to list them.
All right, go for it.
First of all, if I was watching another quarterback throwing that pick that was thrown at the time it was thrown, I would have called it a stupid throw.
Yeah.
I'm going to take on some sacred cows here. And his coach covering for him isn't helping. I know it's the right thing to do, but Mr. Nice Guy is going to have to strap it on if we're going to get to a Super Bowl this year, because this little nice stuff, it's not going to cut it. When Josh Jacobs hit the line late in the game, I saw him go in with one hand out and one hand around the ball, and I'm a 58-year-old football fan on the couch, and I'm like, what's he doing? Cover that ball up. Then the ball comes out, and we're darn lucky we kept it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not so much that he doesn't fumble much; it's when you fumble. I can't comprehend that mistake and him making it.
Let's go,
John. That was just one take.
Yeah.
That's one. There are 3 more.
I'm getting there, John.
Okay.
You're damn right, John.
Jordan Morgan. The Jordan Morgan experiment is over.
Already,
You better be trying to make a move, because I don't need to see that guy play again. I understand making a mistake or 2. 3 or 4, at what point does it start getting through your thick head that you got to clean it up? That was ridiculous.
This is a great mind.
And Rich Fistascia, right, where this is the king of all special teams, like the other 6 ahead of him that have all flamed out. Yes, he's cleaned up the kicking game. Coverage seems to be better. But the problem with special teams, it's a wide range, a wide scope of different plays. And allowing Newsome to come untouched around the corner when Kraft just had to get a hand on him, anything would have prevented that block. I don't understand it. I know the defense played their butts off and they deserve better than this. But as a fan, I had to be in isolation, and I certainly didn't call into the post-game show because I'd have got kicked off.
Well, that's a great first call, John. You're the best. Thanks for jumping in on Inside Wisconsin Sports and sharing all that. I can't decide if he shared all 4 or only 2 or 8 things that were on the top of his head, but he's annoyed.
If I can just say,
Daddy, chill.
Okay.
What?
Oh, wow. That to John.
Daddy, chill.
All right, let's take a breather.
Take a breather.
Whew.
A little worked up on a Monday
Man,
morning,
I
but that's
loved
the
it,
idea.
Though.
A Monday morning mind dump. That's what we're doing.
Like a nice cup of coffee in the morning from John there.
Man.
He's going to work. He is fired up. He is fired up. He is done with Morgan. He's done with him. That's it. Game 3, done.
Yeah, that was quick. And by the way, it was very close to beating out Rasheed Walker for that starting position at the beginning of the year.
Doesn't matter.
Like,
done.
Yeah, done. Cut him.
Woo!
Make some plans. All right. The Fan Nicolay Law talking text line 414-677-1250. A Monday morning mind dump. So what's on your head? What do you got to get out of your skin this morning and just make it heard? Shoot us a text. Give us a buzz. Great lineup. Awesome to hear you guys. I love this. Appreciate you in the 480, wherever the heck that is.
Yeah,
Brewers
baby.
are in. The only thing I didn't like is obviously the Packers. Understood. Josh, back on the air with Trevor. Nick and Teresa. Is it Teresa or Teresa?
Teresa.
I think it's
Teresa.
Yeah, Teresa.
I know Nick's awesome, though, man. Happy to be talking to you again.
Yeah, there's a good one here from the 414. Parsons had 3 penalties, right? Is John done with Parsons too?
No,
point.
listen, don't tell John how to fan. He's upset. He's got to go to work today. The Packers blew the game. They blew it. He's pissed about it. He's allowed to be pissed. He's going to listen. Morgan comes back next week against Dallas, has a great game. He's not saying any of this. Okay.
No.
This is venting. This is your morning mind dump on a Monday after a Packers loss that they should have won. You let that man fan that way. I love it. I absolutely love it. Now,
10 points by the Browns in 37 seconds. That really hurt.
Yeah.
That reminded me a lot of the end of that NFC Championship game against Seattle.
Yeah, it came on quick, didn't it?
That. Yeah, real fast.
That escalated quickly.
The problem was it never felt like the Packers showed up the entire game.
Correct.
I mean, we can go through play-by-play. We will not do that.
Thank you.
On Inside Wisconsin Sports.
No. How about no?
There was not a single moment that felt safe in that game yesterday, even 10-0. And I understand that may not be the most optimistic, but I certainly didn't think it was going to collapse like that. I was listening to SportsCenter on the way in this morning. Nicole Briscoe was on late last night. Nicole Briscoe is a huge Packer fan. She actually is from Wisconsin in the Wausau area.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, big Packer fan. She, of course, had to do the highlight, and she was slightly distraught, to say the least. So the Packers blew up big time. Took a 10-0 lead into the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter, and then all the wheels fell off.
Yeah.
We got no food. We got no jobs. Our pets' heads definitely fell off. And it is what it is. I think you got to flush it and go from there. I can't wait to hear what Matt LaFleur has to say today, because it felt the entire time like he was just, I don't want to say being out-coached, because I've never been an NFL coach, but it didn't feel like we had control of the game. And I do expect him in particular, to help me feel like the Packers have control of their situation. It just didn't feel that way.
Can I give you my morning mind up? Can I just do this from the weekend? Okay.
Yes, please.
So when everything fell apart for the Badgers on Saturday, first of all, I went, yeah, that sucks. But anyone that had super high expectations for this Badgers team to start, I don't know what you were thinking anyway.
So true. Yep.
So that, and then I still had Sunday. So it didn't hurt that bad. I went, okay, the big stuff doesn't happen until tomorrow. Then you get to Sunday, and before the Packer game starts, the Brewers are losing. Okay. And you find out before the Brewers game started that Brandon Woodruff is down on the IL, and that Murph is devastated for him. Okay. I'm not doing great right there. Okay. Just right away. And at this point, no game has even started, and blood pressure is rising because now I'm thinking about the postseason and all these other. Okay. That's fine. Take a deep breath. Then the game starts. They go down 2-0 to the Cardinals. Okay. All right. Listen, they had some people sitting out. They don't need to win today. It's not a must win. That's fine. Then the Packers come out and they just start playing like garbage, and they're holding on. And part of the entitled Packer fan in me went, they're going to find a way to win this game, even though they are playing like garbage and they are playing so sloppy. And then they didn't. And now I'm upset. I'm upset because they blew it. They blew the game. Meanwhile, the Brewers are getting smoked. They're not even in the game against the Cardinals. And I'm stuck watching the red hot Reds play the Cubs to see if there's any glimpse, any hope of anything positive happening that day. Turns out that that's what happened. But as someone texted in on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line here, I'm happy they won. But man, did I not like the fact that they had to, that was our celebration. There was no call. I didn't get a call from BA or Levering saying, this is your NL Central Division champs back to back to back. I didn't get that call that I wanted to listen to for the next 3 weeks. I didn't get that. They celebrate someplace else after losing the game. Literally the fact that they clinched, which we all knew was this like most likely thing that was going to happen anyway at that point, was the only positive that came out of this weekend. It was the only thing. Okay? And so I'm sorry if being a realist is saying that 95% of the weekend sucked. It was a lot of suck. And then one thing that would have happened anyway. God! Now I'm mad. Okay? That's what happened.
That's what this mind dump is for, Josh. Just get it all out. You done?
Yeah.
You didn't mention WrestlePalooza at all.
Well, because that whole thing was complete garbage. This whole thing with ESPN, I pay for cable. Okay, I'm one of like 7 people left that still pay for cable, and they're saying no. You even though you pay us like you're 70, you still can't watch this pay-per-view. You got to sign up for this new thing, and I'm not going to do that because I'm already locked in with my Disney Plus and my Hulu from when they first started that. I've got like the grandfathered in rate. I'm never touching it, and so I can never do it, and I had to watch it illegally streamed on TikTok on a little screen on my phone. That was the only way I could see what was happening, and then the pay-per-view sucked anyway. 95% of the weekend sucked.
You volunteered for the Ronald McDonald House this weekend. That was great.
Okay. Well, my wife did. She went and did it was a great deal, by the way. People donated $5. They got a free car wash.
It's awesome.
It was a great deal.
For the greatest cause ever.
Yes.
All right. I understand. Yeah, that we didn't get the call. Stephen Watson did his best while the Brewers were in the clubhouse yesterday on FanDuel Sports, watching the TV in the clubhouse, waiting for the Reds to finally put the Cubs away. And it happened. And the Brewers are the NL Central champions. It just didn't feel like that was enough to get us over the hump. You know what I mean? Like from the hump from the weekend.
Yeah.
I mentioned this earlier, but here's part of my Monday morning mind dump. What is McCarthy doing with Chris McIntosh? What are they doing? Why are they chilling in a booth together? The optics of that situation, when your entire fan base on Saturday is chanting Fire Fickle at halftime. They're actually there, by the way. The fans were in the stands. The student section was there. That's what we're shooting for in Wisconsin football. And then yesterday, Mike McCarthy is a guest of his in a booth, in a suite at Wisconsin volleyball. The optics of that on this Monday morning mind dump, not great. Can't have it. I just don't think that if you're fickle and you're just scrolling Twitter yesterday, oh, look, yeah. I mean, somebody here said, do it, Mike. Do it. Do it.
Yeah, but Fickle's getting paid. Fickle's getting paid regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are saying that you're not going to, if they find the money to buy out Fickle, it's even more embarrassing for the school because then how do you not put that money towards the NIL transfer portal, paying better players, blah, 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 blah. It's a lose-lose. It's a very tough spot. And I'm not reading into the McCarthy thing. I'm not there yet. That could have been pre-planned. Who knows?
Here's one from the 414 on the Nicolet Law Talk and Text line. Monday morning mind dump. Jordan is just good. He's not great.
I think I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that's ever been a problem. Are people still out there thinking he's going to be the next Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre? Is that still
Yeah, they are. Of course they are, because we have nothing else to go off of, and they paid him as if he already is. I think that's the part.
A lot of just good quarterbacks get paid elite money in the NFL. You don't have to be a future Hall of Famer to get paid in the NFL if you are a quarterback.
It seemed like yesterday the Packers showed their age. They showed their age. When things got tough, we got scrambled. It just didn't feel put together whatsoever. And so, yeah, I agree with that Monday morning mind dump from the 414. Jordan is just good right now. Not great. Another one from the 414. Phillies lost 2. Let's hope for a BA call for the number 1 seed clinch from Andy in Brookfield.
Yeah.
How sweet is it, by the way, to have BA back for as much as we've had him?
That's true.
Love Jeff Levering.
We are so lucky to have both those guys.
Seriously. To have him back and not doing whatever it was that he was doing at TBS this time of year, or maybe this is just the time of year where he's back the most, but he seems to have been here more, and I will take it. Can we just talk about the locker room celebration for a second? Poor Sophia. Why does every Milwaukee Brewer need to dump their beer or champagne on Sophia's head when she's in the middle of an interview?
Because she's like part of the team. She's been there. That's always been the case. They do that to a lot of the beat writers and the people that are always there. I mean, I've seen photos, and Tom Hodgecourt, who used to cover the team before he retired, used to always be in there too. I mean, it's just that's kind of how this team has always looked at it, and I always appreciate the people that don't have the goggles on. Right, that was always a big thing with Uke when Uke was in there, was that they would just douse him, and all he'd have on was his cap as the only thing protecting his eyes.
Murph is doing the little speech before all the tops get popped and the suds start flowing all over that locker room. And he's got the goggles on his head. He's ready. And then he goes, all right, let's do this, and doesn't move his goggles and just gets smashed.
Yeah, had them right where they should be. Loved it.
Those are sweet goggles. I kind of want a pair of those. Are they selling those as part of the gear? Did you see those?
No.
I want a pair of those.
See, I feel like maybe you could pull that off. Like they're ski goggles. Like they're, ski goggles. You ever been skiing? You're athletic.
Yeah, a long time ago. I mean, I'm 6'8", 285 on a good day, Josh. Me and the skis
6'8".
and downhill fastness, not a good combo.
Yeah. No.
Nothing says that's safe in my life.
Fair.
At all. And you will learn that over time, I am a fairly injury-prone fella.
That's what happens to tall people.
You know what I learned?
You get to be good looking, but you get hurt a lot. A short, fat guys.
Well, I got one of those things going. It's not the good looking one.
Oh.
So I did some stalking this weekend.
Yeah.
So I friended you on Facebook.
Yeah.
Part of this is Josh and I getting to know each other as well. I know to Milwaukee radio fans that have heard my voice and heard Josh's voice, have every single time, 100% of the time that you heard our voices, it was never together.
It's true.
Today is the first time you've heard our voices together. I asked Josh, 4 days ago, to set the over-under between now and the first time we actually meet in person.
Yeah.
And you said 33.5.
Yep.
And I said, that's a really good line.
Yeah.
So I got to get down there. We got to meet. However, what you do when you first meet someone, if you don't get the chance to meet them in person and sit down and have a conversation, grab a bite to eat, you Facebook stalk them. And so I sent Josh a Facebook request, and I got a screenshot back, and it said, I don't know if I should do this.
I immediately regretted it.
Why?
Because I don't, that you're forming your first impression from Facebook.
I had an impression already.
Oh, all right.
But I do have questions, which we're going to get to in the next segment. There are 5 things that I wrote down while stalking Josh on Facebook that I have questions about.
Fantastic.
My first one has to do with bowling. I want to get to that next in a segment we're going to call I Have Questions. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Trevor Thomas, Josh Alrech, thanks for joining us on the inaugural day. Inaugural?
That's what you said.
Inaugural day. You're going to be able to clip a lot of stupid stuff that comes out of my mouth, Josh.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to keep up. You will not be able to keep up.
I love it.
You know what? I would just decide not to right now because you're not going to be able to keep up.
I'm still going to try.
Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line 414-677-1250. Follow us on social media as well on the Twitter/X at Trevor Thomas IW is yours truly, and On Air Josh at On Air Josh is how you follow along with the life of Josh Alrech. The other way you follow along on the Josh's personal side of his life is via his Facebook page.
Yeah, which do not send me a Facebook request, people.
No.
I will deny it.
Yeah. I gratefully was not denied.
Should have. Yeah.
People who Facebook stalk in the talk and text line. Stalkers, serial killers, ex-girlfriends, and Trevor.
Yeah, from the 262. Could not be more correct.
Okay, well, I'm not stalking you. I just wanted to learn about you.
Mm-hmm.
This is a segment called I Have Questions.
Mm-hmm.
And there's many things from sports over the weekend that I have questions about. We've been attempting to answer them all morning long. But I got to know you. I got to get to know you. So I have 5 quick questions. Here's the top 5 things I learned by perusing Josh's Facebook.
Stalking.
Okay.
Stalking
Sounds
Facebook.
a lot worse. I shouldn't have used that word.
That's what you did.
Number 5, you're quite the bowler, hey?
Yes. Bowling, big part of my life.
How many 300s?
Just one. Just one.
Impressive work.
Thank you.
Number 4, you have a serious hat and crazy shirt addiction. What is that?
Oh, boy. Okay, so I have an addictive personality. From the time I was in college, I started collecting 5950 new era flat brim hats. I have a lot of them. And then in the last couple of years, I found this shirt brand called Roosevelt's, RSVLTS. They make very loud shirts, and I've started getting into those, and I have a lot of those as well.
Yeah, you do. How many, honestly? 30? More?
Times like 10.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
You get these for free, I hope.
No, well, some.
You spokesperson?
No, but I'd like to be.
Number 3, exactly how many podcasts do you host?
I host 4.
When? How do you have time for this?
Well, so there's one that's actually heard on the radio, which is Joshing Around Milwaukee with my friends at Visit Milwaukee. And then I have one that I do with those shirt nerd friends. I have a sports one that I do with my buddy John called Don't Tell Me How to Fan. And then I actually have one with my wife, because when I started doing podcasts, she said, "Why don't we have a podcast?" And I said, "Okay, if that's what you want to do." And so
my wife has never said that. Thank
also
God.
have a podcast. Yeah.
That's great. All right, number 2, the amount of trips you make to and the amount of food you eat while you're at the Wisconsin State Fair is terrifying. What made you become absolutely in love with the Wisconsin State Fair?
I was going to say, what's the question? First of all, the State Fair is great. I don't understand people that avoid it. It's the summer, and there's a million things to do during the summer, but there's a million things to just do at the fair. The fair is great. Everyone should go to the fair. Number 1. Number 2, I don't eat the whole item of all of the food. Okay. I don't have the money for that or the space for that. You can't do that. The way to correctly go to the fair is you have to go with other people. You take one bite. You try the food. There's a million different things to try. You take one bite of the thing that you get. That's how you do it. It was
impressive work.
Thank you.
It was impressive work. And number 1, your family means everything to you. It was really cool to see you guys and meet you virtually and just get to know you more, man.
I appreciate that.
All
man.
right. I have more questions.
All right.
Questions.
Yes.
Maybe you can answer this. Maybe you can't. Maybe somebody on the NicolayLaw.com talk and text line can. 414-677-1250. My question is, what is a simulated substitution? What? The first time ever I've heard those words.
Yeah, that was a good question. And I was right there with you on saying, what is this thing? And we did get it figured out, by the way. Let me pull it up.
Oh, did you look? You looked it up. What actually is a simulated substitution?
No.
Because I know they went to Mike Pereira and they
Yes.
tried to have the conversation, and it just feels like the NFL doesn't want the Packers to do the quick snaps and bust the other team with 12 guys on the field anymore. It literally is as if they're trying to stop it from happening.
So what are you saying that this is going to become a thing? I feel like it has become a little bit more. They're trying to stop it since Rodgers kind of exposed it happening.
Why are they trying to stop it? That's what I don't understand. And I understand that what is the rule, Josh? If the offense substitutes, the defense has a chance to substitute, and then they hold up play.
Yes.
And so this whole simulated substitution thing came from the Packers thinking like they were going to sub, and then the Browns went to sub and had 12 guys on the field, and then Jordan snaps the ball and runs right in to one of the back judges who's standing behind him, and they blow the play dead, and nobody understands what's going on.
And then they're using this terminology. No, it was crazy. It was garbage. I don't know how much I'm expecting to hear that again, though, through the rest of the season. I don't think that's going to become a common call made.
Did we find a loophole? Can you not fake what? I just don't understand what happened in that play. Does anybody out there listening understand? 414-677-1250. What is a simulated substitution? I paused there. You and I were texting, and I'm like, well, that's a funny word. Funny words, simulated substitution.
Yeah, sounds like a fake penalty.
Okay, can we talk about, I have questions. You triggered me there with the words fake penalty.
Okay.
My son plays for a high school football team. He's a sophomore. Friday night, they have a game. I'm going to leave the names of the schools out of this because I don't want to throw anybody on the bus. My son's team got flagged twice for personal fouls, blocking too hard. Blocking too hard.
Oh, come on.
Can't make it up. Twice in the fourth quarter of that game on Friday night, a flag was thrown because one of the members of our team was blocking too hard. This, by the way, after our quarterback and our backup quarterback both got knocked out with a concussion. I have questions on simulated substitutions, and I have questions on why blocking too hard is a penalty in high school sports in Wisconsin. But we don't have time for that because we got to take a break. And up next, the very first guest on Inside Wisconsin Sports here on The Fan. Joining us next, the co-host of the Inside Wisconsin podcast, John Anderson, Sports Center icon and Green Bay, Wisconsin native. Stick around. Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Join us on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. And joining us on the air as guest one on Inside Wisconsin Sports is the co-host of the Inside Wisconsin podcast. He's loaning me out to the radio. Appreciate you, John Anderson, ESPN SportsCenter anchor forever and a Green Bay, Wisconsin native. J.A., thanks for waking up and joining us here on Inside Wisconsin Sports.
Well, I remember when they started the ESPN radio network. I don't know if I can say that. If you bleep me out, I apologize.
Quick.
And Dan Patrick started the radio show, and he promised that Oberman, his sidekick, would be his first guest. And so I thought, okay, well, I feel like I have to insist on that as well.
It was
so here I am. As you can tell, I haven't shaved. I've been up 7 minutes. If I loved you more, I'd have been up 9 minutes. I probably would have gotten up before the 7:30, whatever it is. But here I am, and I'm super glad that. And like I kind of joked with you, since we don't have paper routes anymore, I guess this is the best I can do.
Thanks. I appreciate you getting up and joining us. So apparently your name has to start with a J if we're going to do a show together. Josh, meet John. Josh.
I was going to say, how about a J.A.?
I noticed, well, there's only one of those. That's Jordan Anthony, the fine sprinter from the University of Arkansas. I noticed you guys seem to have set aside your Packers disappointment, your Badgers disappointment, and even the 2 out of 3 losses in St. Louis disappointment to go ahead and rub it in on the Cubs that, we're spraying champagne anyway.
Yeah, we're going to do that anyway. There was an awesome picture that showed up on X yesterday. I'm not sure who posted it, but it was just a hot mess on the inside of that away locker room in St. Louis, and I'd like it no other way. It was perfect. So, all right, John, it was a really long weekend for Wisconsin sports. I mean, Wisconsin football, Packers, blow it.
Kung Fu Kenny won a gold medal, so that's good.
Hey, that's good.
In the
I like it.
He was part of the 4x1, so that was good. And then, of course, we're celebrating Cordell Tinch from earlier in the week when he won the gold medal in the 100. So Bayport's finest is a world champion, which I think is a fantastic story from a guy who was literally 3 years ago in town selling phones,
cell phone.
Yep. And now he's out there. And I sent him a note afterwards because he did the interview with Paul Swangard, with Lewis Johnson. And they kind of talked about his comeback. And he said, I just decided I didn't want to sell. I didn't want to be a guy selling cell phones or working in paper mills. And I said to him, like, dude, that's the most Wisconsin answer ever. Like, you want to know your audience. I don't know that played in Pittsburgh, Kansas, where he goes to school, where he went to school and is working. But if you're back home, God bless the man. He didn't want to be a third shifter.
Calm our nerves, J.A. Is there anything serious to worry about the Packers in yesterday's collapse?
Well, I feel like you only have to calm your nerves if perhaps they had gotten the better of you over the first 2 wins and you had them booked for the Super Bowl already.
You know me well.
I think maybe that's the people that are panicking or the people that might have been over the top. Now, I'm not saying they weren't great and they were very promising, but within that, I said to more than one person, you can't keep leaving 10 or 12 points on the field. You can't just be sloppy in this because somebody's going to hang around. Somebody's going to come get you. And it's going to be a team with turns out it's going to be a team with a bad record, but a good defense. And it was kind of due that was going to keep fighting. And that you pissed that away in the last 5 minutes is awful, right? Like you had this thing covered for so long. I would like it that the refs didn't call pass interference all the time just to make sure it happened. It was literally like, okay, I guess you've decided we got to get this. So it's going to be a 1-possession game coming late. And then they just messed it up. And so, no, I am not panicked. Hopefully that is a valuable lesson learned very early in week 3 in September and not like in January. But it's, it was everything that they were rife to be, it's the NFL, man. Everybody's on scholarship. Everybody in the NFL plays in the NFL. They all have some pride. But no, I'm not super panicked. I just think maybe some folks maybe needed to be just scale it back a little. That was you? Okay. I will say this. I said on a different radio program, as good as it was, the start, I have never yet seen an NFL team that made the playoffs with 2 wins.
Valid.
So
Yes.
it takes a while. So it needed a few more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Josh, you'll find, Josh, that sometimes you have to temper the enthusiasm of the host. He will get a little over his ski tips.
Oh, no.
And the problem is then you and I will come off as the cranks in the room. Like, those guys hate the Packers. Those guys really must be down on the Brewers. And we're like,
Yes.
no, I just don't know that 120-42 is a realistic record. You know, they won 14 in a row. I'm like, Trev, I don't think they're going to go into the playoffs with a 44-game win streak. I mean, there's a chance, but I doubt that. So just know, Josh, that will be the bulwark of your job, is to just every once in a while just kind of get him back between the between the ditches and get him back on the road itself. Otherwise, we kind of drive a little crazy sometimes.
Yeah, listen, that's going to be more of an issue for him than it is me. He was the one yesterday that was telling me, listen, here's all the silver lining, positive stuff, and fluffy clouds and rainbows. Yeah. And I was sitting here going, they should have won that game, Trevor. I don't care. They should have won that game. I don't care about yes, I did not expect them to go undefeated, but that was a game they should have won, and they did not win that game. And that's why it is frustrating.
You hate to give away the ones that you have in the bag. It's so hard to win a game. It really is. I mean this. It's so hard to win an NFL game that you hate to give away ones that you've had in your pocket that you had covered the whole way. So that's really terrible. But I'm sure now Trevor only has them winning the NFC Championship game by 3 touchdowns instead of 4.
Yeah, right.
Okay. All right. Yes, optimistic and sometimes ignorant as well.
Yes, unrealistic.
Mm-hmm. Unrealistic.
That's okay, understood. But that's good. We would rather have that than you could be my mother, who they come through the come out of the tunnel and she goes, I don't like their body language today. Like, what do you mean? Like, they're just
my gosh. I love that.
They go out 3 and out on the first drive, and she'll be like, I just knew this just wasn't our day. You know?
That's
and
awesome.
48 after they win 48-7, then she's like, well, you have to admit that first series they were not very good.
Yeah. So, but was she wrong? That's the thing. No.
He's that way all the time, though. Trevor has them 17-0, and she has them like, God, I hope they can get a first down.
Well, yesterday that wasn't a problem. It was getting into the end zone that was the problem. We're talking to John Anderson.
Offensive line didn't look good.
No. Oh, my God.
No.
Did they play? John Anderson, longtime ESPN SportsCenter anchor, now happily retired as a J-School professor at the University of Missouri down there in Columbia, living his best life. Of course, John Anderson co-hosts the Inside Wisconsin podcast with me, Josh Alrech, and I here on Inside Wisconsin Sports on the Fan. Do you think, J.A., that the Brewers took their foot off the gas on purpose here towards the end of the season? Are they laying up, or is this not a good sign?
Well, what part of it's not a good sign? You can't win 14 in a row all the time.
Yeah.
They've played some really good teams and managed to have nothing out, kind of split series. I do think that you can't keep that kind of intensity going all the way for 162 games. I think once they had it, I think maybe human nature to some is to not be that way. But no, I'm not concerned with the thing that concerns me is the thing that would concern them if they sneaked in as, as an 87 win team or a 97 win team, is that the way the game is played anymore, which is especially the way they play it, right? Your starters are 5, maybe 6 inning guys. And that's just a lot of stress on a bullpen. And you can't go to 40-man rosters anymore, even though you got to back them off some in the playoffs. But in September, when you used to have 40 guys and you could put fresh arms in there, and they're just that makes them no different than every other team. It's just the workload put on a bullpen is a lot, and those arms get tired. And so that is the thing that concerns me most going to the playoffs is just I think the starters will be okay. Is the bullpen going to be able to hold up, which means I think that's why you could take Miz and put him in the pen if you get your other 3 guys as the starters and be able to bring that guy out, because you got to be able to blow people away out of the bullpen in the playoffs and screw pitch into contact. Let's just let them whiff and set down. So no, I'm not terribly worried. They've been really impressive so far, and I think they treat every day the same way. So I think they're steady, and think they'll get decent results. Really, outside of the hiccup in Texas, they've been okay. They're not sure, they haven't gone another 14 streak. They've been kind of 500 for a while, but I'm all right with that. I'd rather have them do that. It'd be good in the playoffs. I don't think it shows that they're failing or anything else, but you never know. Under the last manager, they didn't do very well in the playoffs anyway, so thank goodness that guy's gone, and hopefully the new fella has some success.
Josh, what's top of mind for you for Mr. Anderson before we let him on his merry day?
Yeah, I mean, I'm listening to what you're saying, John, and I'm sitting here though, and I'm concerned about the injuries to the Brewers team. I don't think that their level of play is limping in, but in talking with Trevor, we've used the analogy of being the hottest team is like, you're going out with your wife, and is she wearing the sweatsuit? Is she got her sweatpants on like she was planning on just watching a movie and having some ice cream on the couch? Or does she have on the leather jacket and the tight jeans and the high heels? What is she wearing? And, hearing Woody go down and that he might not be available in the postseason, that hurts. And just looking at the injuries that this team is battling right now, it's not that record-wise they're limping in, but now is the time. You played this, you had that streak like you did in July and August. You had those hot months, not expecting that to be the level of play in the postseason. But to give this team the best shot, you want those guys to be healthy. And it seems like they're creeping more towards where they were at the beginning of the season, where they're just trying to get through right now because of these people that are hurt. And I'm not a fan of that.
Okay, now I'm just depressed and we go back to bed being all sad.
Okay, see?
You can't. No, listen, like you play with who you have. You play with who you have. You've got guys. I think the big thing they have shown early on, it was like, aren't they a cute story? And now you're like, okay, those guys can play. And so, yeah, everybody's going to deal with it. And it'd be nice that Woody would be healthy. But I like who they have, and they have shown that regardless of who they have, they bounce along. They just keep bouncing along, playing. And while they did maybe scuffle early on, they did those first, 40 games. I think they've got a much more confident team now. They know they have guys that can play. Honestly, some of it's a crapshoot anyway, right? Look at you could line up, your three best guys, and Devin Williams can come up and throw one fat pitch in the ninth inning, and now the Mets move on, right? And I'm not trying to get down on Devin, but how did that game pitch out last? You had everything you wanted it to be, right? Everything in that game was perfect. Starter was good. Get the runs. Here it is. We're ahead. You have the closer you want, and everything's lined up. It's good as it can be. And then sometimes the guy just doesn't do the job he's supposed to do. So, you always would like to have every bullet that you could have available. And yet somehow Hoskins goes down, and they trade for Mickey Mantle, which was really kind of crazy. They survived Churio for all those weeks. Like, I don't know. They seem to be a resilient bunch. They seem to have guys that always can fill in and do the job. Here's a bullpen, a bunch of guys that when you started, you're like, okay, I guess we've kind of sewn this thing together, and they're fine. So I'm not going to let them. It's funny where I won't get too far out over my ski tips on anybody. Then I'm not ever going to give up on the guys I have, and I think they've shown that the way they play and who they have and the mentality they have, that they'll be fine with everybody. If you go with that way, everybody's either got injuries or demons, right? And
sure.
The Dodgers, the Dodgers are a flawed outfit right now. Philly's missing guys, right? They've got a couple of pitchers that I'm sure they'd love to have back. After 162 games with the attrition, I don't know that anybody's who they want, right? If that's the case, maybe the Yankees are the best outfit with their roster closest to what they want to be. So don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I'm going to be fine.
Everything's going to be all right. J.A., we appreciate you jumping on with us here on The Fan.
Yeah. I mean,
we'll talk.
I'm just sorry I didn't raid the team store this morning like you guys did.
I did not.
The gear.
He did. Buy all the gear. Josh was out there right away last night picking up the gear. I did that last year, you might recall. I got scolded for it from you and Brian Anderson, so I'm not going to do that this year, but I am going to buy it, just not, right away. Jay, I appreciate you, man. We'll see you on this week's episode of the Inside Wisconsin podcast. That new one comes out on Thursday. We'll chat with you soon.
Do I have to get out of bed again tomorrow?
Yeah, sorry about that. We got to record tomorrow. Yep.
You should try to do it every day, John.
Yeah, it's a good thing to do.
Josh, I want to, maybe you and Josh and I could do something when we're around. We could host a noon show. I don't know who the guy is at noon, but maybe
I like that.
We can move that guy to his time slot. All right.
Guys at
Thanks,
noon,
guys. Hey, Trev, good luck, man. I'm so happy you're there. I'm so happy to get a shot. And I'm hoping desperately that all the rest of your days are not filled with teams that did not quite perform otherwise that we expect. Otherwise, it's going to be a long time. But thanks, brother. Be good.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, this doesn't happen without John Anderson and the Inside Wisconsin podcast. When we started that, this was never the goal. And yet, somehow, here we are, and I owe him so much for that. All right. Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
No one said that the Milwaukee Brewers would be in the running to win the division. Not only did you win the division, you crushed it. All right? What do you say?
That's what we say. Pop the top. The Milwaukee Brewers, the NL Central Division champs yet again. Welcome in Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Join us on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line 414-677-1250. Trevor Thomas, Josh Alrech, 2 down, buddy. 1 to go on day number 1 for you and
baby.
I here on The Fan. It's a brand new lineup here on The Fan. In case you missed it, you're stuck with us in the best way possible from 6 to 9, Monday through Friday, every morning. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor Thomas and Josh Alrech. 9 to noon returns with John Kuhn. John Kuhn, Rami Makloff, 9 to noon. Can't wait to do the crossover with those guys at the top of the next hour. Noon to 2 is the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis, presented by Verizon. 2 to 5, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. And 5 to 6, Fan Postgame Show with Tommy Warts. Tommy's going to be beat by then.
I know.
Why did Tommy's
got a
Tommy
day.
sleep in the studio, man? Why did what was that? Why?
Listen, because Tommy's the man. Tommy is dedicated. Tommy knew, listen, it's day 1. Okay. The training wheel's still a little bit on, making sure that everything goes smooth. And Tommy was like, I got you. I'm doing the post game. I'll run home, take a quick shower, come back here, snooze, be ready for you in the morning. That's exactly what happened.
Man, that good on you, Tommy. We appreciate you and really came in handy this morning, man. All right, let's go to that talking text line. There's a lot of text that we have let slide by this morning that we want to kind of come back to. I love this one from the 608. It says, love the walk-in with Cody Rhodes. Hope we'll get some WWE talk too on this show. Happy you're back, Josh, and with one of the best, Adam in Kaukauna.
Yeah, thank you, Adam. Appreciate you.
There will be some WWE talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's mostly going to be complaining. It's very easy to complain about the things that the WWE does wrong.
This last weekend, there's a lot to complain about, though. I mean, I did pay the $30 to make sure ESPN Premium, whatever the heck I had to subscribe to. Yeah, I'm in that, and I did not enjoy that pay-per-view at all.
It sucked.
It was really bad. And then, okay, real quick, let's do a little WWE talk for a second here.
Okay.
Then we'll get back to the talking text line. Did you see Jey Uso smash himself in the face with that chair?
I did see that.
That was not in the plan.
No, that was not part of the script. Those things happen. It kind of made me miss the days when guys did get hit in the head with chairs. Now the whole concussion protocol. You don't see guys getting waffled with chairs anymore.
No. He waffled himself with the chair, though.
It was a self-inflicted hit.
Busted his forehead wide open. You can see it happen. He kind of stammered, and then he took his hand and wiped his brow and saw blood, and then said something to somebody, we got to get out of here. I'm bleeding all over the place. So he took a spear from Braun Breaker. Then they both got speared through the table. I wonder what was in the script, because I felt like there was a lot leading up to that match. And then all of a sudden, LA Knights, the ref, and it all went south when Jey Uso was bleeding all over the place.
Yeah, that's what happens with live entertainment. Sometimes you got to flip the script.
Back to the talking text line we go. If you want to chime in and say hello, please do so. We would love to hear from you and know who's listening and where you are and what you love. 414-677-1250. Here's a note from Trempealeau, Wisconsin, listening online. Happy inaugural day, Trevor and Josh. All the best from Trempealeau. You guys are killing it.
Yeah,
it's a little surreal, buddy, isn't it? I mean, let's just take a second to pause here and go, I don't know. Can't listen to that open without getting the chills. Can't. I'm beyond grateful for this opportunity to be here talking sports with you on this radio station, and so much more to come, by the way. So much more that we can't let out of the bag, but there's cats in there. There are cats in the bag.
Meow.
Waiting to come out. So you just stay tuned to this all-new lineup. We have so much more awesome news to share with you. So when I was told I was matching up with Josh Alrech, I was like, oh, you mean like the icon Josh Alrech?
And they were like, no.
Yeah,
no, the other
weren't.
guy.
No, it's an icon deal, buddy.
Oh.
I don't know if you're looking at this talk and text line, but
I'm very, very humbled, very
a
appreciative.
lot of people that are really, really glad that you're back here. Out of those that you're reading right now, can you pick one and decide? Like,
I can't pick one. Well, I'll tell you what I love though is that I love seeing people. First of all, if you're texting in the talk and text line, please include your name, where you're from. Sometimes we can save the listener's name and where you're from. We can't do that right now as the system's currently set up. So we want to know who you are on top of the fact that you're sending a text. So please include that in the text. But seeing some of these names from these guys, it honestly, it felt like, I had to go away to a different school for a year, right? And now I'm back and it's the first day of school and I'm seeing all these classmates that I haven't seen in a whole year and we're all excited. It's syllabus day. There's no homework. We just get to talk and say, how was your summer? And I missed you. And I'm very humbled. It's so great to just see all these people that are listening. And I promise we're going to have a lot of fun and we're going to talk a lot about local Wisconsin sports, how you feel about it as a fan. We're going to get emotional, happy, sad, mad. It's going to be great. I can't wait to go through this with you, Trevor, and with all of you listening. And I want to make sure that everyone knows, too, regardless of where you are, don't forget about that Odyssey app. You can listen free on the Odyssey app as well. And it doesn't matter if you're in your car or not. It's a great way to make sure that you're listening to the show and the whole lineup anywhere you are.
Yeah, you just got to create an account real quick on that Odyssey app. Give them your name and mother's maiden name and social security number and all those things. No, just kidding. Just sign up for an account.
I was going to say, it's no different than you do for any other website or anything else.
It's so simple. I had a fan download this over the weekend, a friend of mine. Oh, I don't want to create an account. I'm like, get over yourself.
You create an account for everything.
Put your email in there, create a password, save it in your little whatever the heck they save it in, and then go from there.
Like this guy, for example, Pete from Mesa, Arizona, listening in this morning. Cactus Pete saying, congratulations, guys. Glad you're back, Josh, on the air. You could be like Cactus Pete, listening from anywhere. Appreciate you tuning in.
A lot of texts with people switching. Really, really grateful to have you here. We appreciate that. All right, let's go back to this godforsaken Packers game here for a second.
Oh, okay.
I made a note about this yesterday. I want to get your take. I don't know that Goody knew this going into it, that with bringing Micah Parsons in, he was going to unlock Rashawn Gary and Lucas Van Ness, but Lucas Van Ness was the talk of training camp because he needed to be. Lucas Van Ness needed to wake up, show up, be the first-round pick that we all thought and believed he could be, and especially who Brian Gutekunst thought he could be. And he's here. But I'm wondering if the majority of the reason he's shining so brightly is that all eyes are on the other dude. And there was numerous plays yesterday when all three of those guys were on the field at one time. Let's tap into that. That's real fun. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the case. Look, it's how it works in team sports. When there's a guy that needs to be covered that you cannot ignore, it's going to create opportunities for the other people on the team. And the way that teams are successful is then if those guys take advantage of those opportunities. And we have seen Gary and Van Ness, but Gary especially, taking advantage of his opportunities when Parsons is being double-teamed, triple-teamed, whatever it is.
I had a fear, though, that Parsons was being brought in because there was serious concern about Lucas Van Ness. And there has been some pretty serious concern about Lucas Van Ness over the last few years, but he's shining bright. He was in on one of the first tackles in the game, a half a sack. He showed up a lot in the conversation over the first 3 weeks, and I just think that's maybe something that, well, at least me, I mean, I'll say to myself, I didn't see that coming. I knew that Parsons was going to be the animal that he is. I knew it was going to open up Rashawn Gary, but I did not expect to see all three of those dudes on the field at one time like they were yesterday, breaking through and causing havoc in the backfield. And I think that's the hardest part about the game yesterday. The defense actually did play really well. Is that because the Browns' offense was that terrible? Maybe. But the defense, I thought, played really well. And the offense didn't exactly play terrible, I didn't think. I took a whole bunch of notes.
They did.
What was terrible about it, though? We got first downs. We extended drives.
You got to get in the end zone, or at least get to a point in which you can put up points. It's not like they, they couldn't get into the end zone, but they kicked 5 field goals. There were too many 3-and-outs. There were so many sacks. I mean, you saw Jordan Love go down way too much.
Oh, let the ball go, brother.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's not even just on the O-line. There were mistakes made all over the place.
I do think that Jordan Love had a really rough game yesterday. I didn't think that his... What?
Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. His throws were off. He held onto the ball way too long. There was one that... You were a little ahead of me on the text game yesterday, by the way, like because Mr. Cable, like I'm on the stream thing, the YouTube TV, and I got a text from you that said, "Oh, Jesus." And I was like, stand by. Got to have that play come through on this end. And that's the one where he lost 20 yards on a sack. It was tough to watch, but no tougher than when that field goal got blocked late in the game. And then the Browns came down. And that's when the penalties really hurt us. That last drive.
Yeah.
And by the way, did you notice that there was a flag, another penalty on the game-winning field goal kick for the Browns?
Yes.
Micah Parsons was offside again.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that one's actually pretty common. Like, they try to take
that point in the game.
They try to take the shot, see if they notice, because it's the last play of the game. But it was kind of the cherry on top of just analyzing the whole game. Of course it was.
Bill Huber of, I believe,
I'm familiar.
Packers, is it Packers Report? Is that what it's called that he works for? Sports Illustrated, something like that. I'm not sure. He always asks the first question in every single presser, and he will again today for sure. I can't wait to hear what LaFleur has to say. But he called our kicker in the beginning of the season Automatic McManus. And for the most part, he is as automatic as our kickers have been, at least the last 5 years for sure with the Packers. But we need a block. Somebody's got to block that guy. And I saw on Twitter afterwards, the question was, why is Tucker Kraft on that special teams unit? And my only answer was because he should be. He just missed that block. And I'm certain that LaFleur is going to talk about it today, and I'm very fascinated to hear what went wrong. Maybe Rich Bisaccia jumps in and gives some sort of answer. But it was as if he thought there was somebody else to his left that was going to get that guy. Did it not seem like that? I mean, not only did he not block him, but he barely touched him. Like he didn't know that was supposed to be him.
Yeah. It was all just so... It happened so fast and just so depressing. I didn't go back and analyze every single position of every single player because I would have just been too upset. But clearly mistakes were made.
There was a lot of notes that I took yesterday reviewing them as we speak right now that I didn't think the passes were as super accurate as they could have been. There was one to Dobbs that Dobbs dropped, but it was not a great pass towards the sidelines. Luckily, the Browns went offsides on that. And then there was a 3-and-2, and 10 kept it and slid, and sometimes he slid a little early. It just didn't seem – it felt discombobulated as a whole from a Packers offensive standpoint. Back to the talking text line for a second. I'm listening across the country from 30,000 feet in the air, thanks to the Odyssey app. Glad I'll be able to listen to the show full time. Another one from the 920. Good to hear Josh again, and welcome, Trevor. Nice to have an option for sports in the morning. Mike in Watertown, we appreciate you, man. If you want to join us, do so on the Nicolay Law Fan talk and text line, 414-677-1250. Josh, if there was a moment or two in that game that things really went awry, you know who I think is going to have answers to that?
Oh, who would that be?
Our guy, Andy Herman. We're going to cover it all with our favorite guy on the beat from the Pack-A-Day podcast, Andy Herman. You've heard him for a long time here on the mornings on the Fan, and he will join us every Monday and every Friday to make sure that we have all of the info needed for the last Packers game and the upcoming one as well. Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Wisconsin Inside Wisconsin Sports live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Guests are on the hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. TheFanMilwaukee.com on the web, Facebook and Twitter at TheFanMilwaukee. Follow Trevor Thomas at Trevor Thomas IW on X, and On Air Josh at On Air Josh to follow along with Josh Alrech. You know him, you love him. We're so glad to have him with us. We welcome in Pack-A-Day podcast host Andy Herman. Andy, first things first, man. You paved the way for this. And I texted you on Friday, and I said, this business sucks. And I'm so grateful that you are joining us on Mondays and Fridays. And I really am just grateful for your professionalism and choosing to still come on with us. And I know you're going to be missed, and hopefully we're received with open arms. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Hey, appreciate you guys. I had a whole vision when I started doing this entire thing, meaning the podcast, writing about the Packers, etc. And my entire vision is like, you know what's cool? Talking about the Packers. And so I don't really care the platform where I'm doing it, if it's on the radio, on a podcast, writing about the Packers. Who wants to talk to me if I'm going on my rival show, Locked On Packers, or if Peter Bukowski's coming on to talk Packers with me on the Pack-A-Day podcast. I just enjoy talking Packers, guys. So I appreciate the opportunity, and excited to do this with you guys. 8:20 a.m. on Mondays and Fridays, and it's going to be a ton of fun.
Are you excited to talk about them today? Because we're cracking the can open with a really bad ending yesterday. So if you could put it in a nutshell, man, what went wrong?
Well, I think if you put together the blueprint, right, of like what would need to go wrong in order for the Packers to lose on the road to the Browns, man, did the Packers do an unbelievable job of following that blueprint right to the T. I thought Zach Bruce put it pretty perfectly on social media, on Twitter. 5 sacks, 14 penalties, average 3.8 yards per play, have a key turnover in the worst moment, and have a field goal blocked at the end with a chance to win the game. That's about the exact formula that you need to lose to the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. And if any of those things go even remotely opposite, the Packers win that game. If they don't allow a ton of pressure on Jordan Love all game, if they don't commit 14 penalties, if they average better than 3.8 yards per play, if they don't have a really stupid interception in their own territory at the end of the game, and if they don't get their field goal blocked, if any of those things go different, Green Bay probably wins that game. So we talked about going in the kind of the keys to the game. Don't let Myles Garrett and the defensive line completely wreck you. Well, Myles Garrett and the defensive line completely wrecked you. Don't allow a big stupid special teams play. They allowed that. And then of course, turnovers are always going to be king. And yes, Green Bay got a Xavier McKinney kind of gimme at the end of the half, but that's not a real turnover. They really lost the turnover battle 1-0 at the end of the day. And again, it was a key turnover.
So Josh and I were talking earlier, and Josh, I want you to chime in here.
Yeah.
I'm the eternal optimist, and Josh is the eternal realist.
Yes.
So Josh, what were some of the realist things that you saw in the game yesterday that we want to hear from Andy?
Yeah, I mean, Andy, you kind of pointed out a lot of them right there, but I think that the offense in a lot of ways was exposed, right? Like this was going into this game, a lot of teams were talking about, I don't know how this Packers team can be stopped. Good Lord, do they look scary. Now you're looking at it like, oh, the way is through their offense, right? The Packers fans are going to be upset in general, but the defense still played tremendously well. You can't fault the defense for this, but there were so many faults on the offensive side of the ball. And now if you're other teams, you're looking at this from the offensive line. Okay, we can get to Jordan Love. If we get to Jordan Love and he's pressured, he's going to make mistakes. We saw him make many mistakes yesterday. My big takeaway as a realist, and I'm sorry that these fall in more of a negative category, Trevor, but that's the case. I started this by saying the defense was good. That's still being positive. There's a lot of flaws that were shown by this offense of the Packers in this game against the Browns. How much of that is just, all right, it was the first game on the road for this offense against a fantastic defense in the Browns? Or is this something that the Packers really need to get fixed, or it's going to hurt them all season?
Yeah, I think I can probably split the difference between you guys, between realism and optimism here. From an optimistic standpoint, I'd be pretty stunned if the Packers offensive line plays a game as bad as this the rest of the season.
Hard to, yeah.
Like it's very difficult. They were completely annihilated in every phase. I know a lot of people want to talk about Matt LaFleur, the game planner, the play caller. Man, there's just not much on your play sheet when you can't run block and you can't pass protect. I mean, good luck in that situation, right? So I think from an optimism standpoint, they'll get some of this stuff cleaned up. The offensive line usually gels as the course of the season goes along, and I really do not expect a game as bad as this again. On the realistic side, one of the things I probably should have talked about more is, you guys know I go through and grade every player on every play. In the first 2 weeks of the season, in two, pretty easy wins, I actually had a pretty negative grade on the offensive line through those two games, especially in week 2 against Washington. And I kind of just thought, chalked it up to, again, I think they'll kind of get some of this stuff ironed out. And Zach Tom was supposed to come back this week. Aaron Banks was supposed to come back this week. Thought some of those things would again, kind of figure themselves out as the season went along, especially with 10 days off in between games. And instead, it went in the exact opposite direction. Now, I know Zach Tom got hurt. Aaron Banks also went out in this game, and they had to shuffle a bunch of things around. But it was a really jarring performance from the offensive line. And the truth is if the offensive line plays like that at any point in time, especially when they're trying to make a run in the playoffs, you're just dead on arrival. You're not going to be able to do anything in a playoff game if the line plays like that. So that to me would be my concern, is that, we haven't seen any sort of consistency. Elton has not looked great at center through 3 weeks. It was actually one of the things, the key takeaways I talked about going into this week of like, I don't think he's played well yet. And I thought he had another rough game. And then you just saw Jordan Morgan, somebody that you're counting on for depth. I thought was terrible last week and now terrible this week as well. I think there's real question marks there. And that's the biggest thing, because it doesn't matter what wide receivers, quarterback, Josh Jacobs, et cetera, that you have. If you can't protect and you can't run block, again, you're just screwed going into pretty much any given game.
Andy Herman joins us on Inside Wisconsin Sports. You can hear him every Monday and every Friday at 8:20 here on the show for the rest of the Packers season at Andy Herman NFL on Twitter. I don't think I realized, Andy, the idea of Micah Parsons unlocking Rashawn Gary and Lucas Van Ness. There was a part of me that thought they were bringing Parsons in, A, because sweet, let's do that. Like, yeah, if we can do that, let's do that. But B, I was worried that they were not moving on from Lucas Van Ness, but they were kind of like, I don't know, we got to do something to help that side. There was numerous plays yesterday where all three were in there.
Yeah.
And Lucas Van Ness was involved in the first sack of the game, and he was last week. So did you see that coming with bringing Micah Parsons in and unlocking Rashawn Gary and Lucas Van Ness?
It was certainly the hope. And again, if you're looking for more reasons for optimism, I think the defense proved again that they are a championship defense. Through 3 games, the Packers have allowed the fewest points in the NFL. Nobody can match them. They're at 44 points through 3 games so far. So the defense has been absolutely, just astonishing in what they've been able to accomplish so far. But I kind of related it to a pitcher rotation in baseball where, as Josh is wearing the Brew Crew gear, actually you might both be. I can't tell, Trevor, if you've got the Brewer gear on there or just the right colors. But
no, I just wore the home team is all I
there you go. That works. But the Brewers got CC Sabathia, right? It's not just adding CC Sabathia to the top of the rotation, but now your 1 becomes your 2, your 2 is your 3, your 3 is your 4, and so on and so forth. It felt like that's what they're doing on the defensive line. Is now Rashawn Gary doesn't have all that pressure to be the ace. He can be the number 2 guy, and LVN doesn't have to be your number 2 guy. He can be the 3, and Devontae Wyatt can be the 4, and so on and so forth. So to me, that was definitely the hope going in. But sometimes you have these ideas of how it's going to look on paper, and then you get to the actual execution of it, and you're like, Rashawn Gary just kind of looks still like Rashawn Gary. But with him getting a ton of one-on-ones and abilities to rush in a variety of different ways, you're seeing, I don't know that it's an improved Rashawn Gary, but it's a Rashawn Gary that's just getting in a whole heck of a lot more advantageous positions. He's certainly made the most of it so far. I think LVN has taken a step as well. And you're just seeing a defensive front that's really, really complicated to go against, especially when you add an Edgerrin Cooper on the second level who can, loop in and do a bunch of stuff from the second level as well. It's a very, very frightening defensive front. And it's just unfortunate that Green Bay couldn't play from ahead a little bit more in this game to be able to put even a little bit more pressure on Joe Flacco.
How fast do we have to flush this one, Andy? I mean, 14 penalties. There's a lot that needs to be corrected, but we're at Dallas in less than a week.
Yeah, I think the big thing here is right now, as awful as this tastes, it's just a one-off for now. It's just a complete, one-off that if you don't repeat that again, we'll look back at it over time and be like, wow, that was really weird. Can you believe they lost, week 3 in Cleveland, in a season they went 14-3 or 13-4 or something? That was a really weird result. What you can't do is, of course, let it linger, and you have to be able to learn from the mistakes in this game. I think this mostly sets up pretty well in the fact that, this is even though Dallas is really crappy so far, which is also kind of an advantage, this kind of has a big fight feel to it because it's on Sunday Night Football. It's the Micah Parsons and Kenny Clark revenge games and sort of things like that. So I think these teams are going to be amped up for this game. I think that is an advantage for Green Bay. And if they can get this win in Dallas and go out there and hopefully perform well, and then at the end of it, get that bye right after and just kind of have a little bit of a reset and say, okay, we're 3-1 going into the bye. Let's get our offensive line and hopefully everyone else a little bit more healthy. You've got Christian Watson, maybe Marshawn Lloyd coming back soon, which both should help the offense. I think that provides you a real opportunity there. And then you get Cincinnati with, Jake Browning, coming in right after that. I think this thing has the ability to course correct itself. The biggest thing for me is, can you learn from your mistakes and can you improve that offensive line play moving forward?
Hey, Andy, how much, and trying to give LaFleur the benefit of the doubt here, how much of the problems, especially with the offense and the offensive line, just came from incorrect scheming, right? Because, LaFleur admitted immediately that they should not have brought Tom back. First play goes down, re-injures the oblique. But he obviously, it was all planned around him being there, the offensive line being different. I know the offensive line isn't the same as like a quarterback, right? As far as scheming, but how much of that changed the game to where if now they plan for against Dallas, you're not going to have Tom, you're not going to have Banks. If they plan that way, how much of that do you think changes in just the performance and the scheming from LaFleur in Dallas?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think to me, the Zach Tom thing is disappointing on so many different levels. Going into the game, I heard a lot of people talking about Tucker Kraft, Zach Tom, and saying, like, I don't want to see them play in this game. Let them get healthy. Don't bring them back too soon. Like, let them get the rest. You've got a bye coming up in a couple weeks. And next week, they're going to be in Dallas on the turf. Like, just give them the 2 weeks. You can beat Cleveland. You can beat Dallas without maybe needing those two. And let's get them the time that they need to rest. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't have their medical charts. Even if I did, I wouldn't know what the heck to do with them in the first place. But all I can do is trust that the medical staff, the player, and the coaches are going to put the players in the best position to succeed. And part of the job description in football is that if you're hurt, you kind of have to play. It's just sort of the job description. You have to go out there. There's only so many of these games, and you need to kind of go out and win every one that you can. And so if they're ready to play and they think they can play, I get it. I no longer give them that benefit of the doubt. After last year where, quite frankly, Jordan Love, Jair Alexander, and Christian Watson all came back too early from injury. I think that's fair to say. Now, in the first big kind of injury that you had, you brought Zach Tom back way too early from injury. That just can't happen. And it can't happen because now Zach Tom is probably going to, I would assume, miss extended period of time after this injury. And I would also say that, to your point, it completely changes your game plan going into this game and just all the shuffling around that you have to do throughout the course of the game. Now, I give them a little bit more of the benefit of the doubt on Aaron Banks because it's a different injury. And I will say this, maybe all 4 of these, maybe Jordan last year, Christian last year, Jair last year, Zach Tom this year, maybe they're all flukes. Maybe every single one of them was like, you know what? They checked out perfectly. Every doctor in the world would have said, absolutely, go out and play. There's no issue here whatsoever. They absolutely should be playing in this game. But I no longer give them the benefit of the doubt after this one. And I think that's fair because there's just been too many players brought back too early that have either aggravated, re-injured, or had some sort of issue coming back too early from injury. They just have to be smarter with it. And not only does it affect them in this game, but it affects them now in the long term with Zach Tom aggravating an injury as well.
Nailed it. Andy Herman, NFL, the Pack-A-Day podcast, joining us here on Inside Wisconsin Sports every Monday and every Friday for the rest of the season at 8:20. Andy, I'm going to the Dallas game.
Yep.
And I asked everybody today, as we wrap up with you, my friend, I'm going to slip a thank you card underneath Jerry Jones's office door. And I just want to put in a whole bunch of messages from Packer fans on just how much it meant to us for his gift. If you could just write a quick 7-word thank you message to Jerry, I'll include it in the card. What is it?
Yeah, I don't have a thing. I'm just gonna. Can I pitch in for like an edible arrangement or something? Can we add a little
Well,
something
that's
to it?
nice.
Because I feel like
Yeah.
just a card maybe isn't enough. I feel like we need to have a little bit. I feel like an edible arrangement would go a long way. Like if we all as a Packers nation like chipped in for like just the nicest edible arrangement to ship over to him, it would look awesome. Like from Packers fans to Jerry, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We're really enjoying Micah Parsons so far. I think that would go a long way.
That's good.
Do they have cheese? Do they have cheese in the edible arrangements?
Yeah,
like that could work out well.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to make that sixth grader handwritten thank you card though, right? Like,
yeah, in crayon.
Try to draw,
Write it in crayon.
in crayon. Try to draw Micah Parsons and the G, which I'm terrible at. Andy, we appreciate you, man. We will talk to you on Friday, brother.
Hey, can't wait. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. Enjoy the new show. It's you're killing it so far.
Thanks, man. We'll see you. Andy Herman, Pack a Day Podcast. All right, up next, the final segment of Inside Wisconsin Sports. We're going to do this every day. It is called What's Up, Wisconsin?
What's
meaning,
up?
what do you look at? Yeah. Our truth? Is that what it is?
Look at
What's
just
up?
get ready for that.
What's up? What's up? Is that coming?
I'm jacked.
What do we need to be aware of today? What is up today, Wisconsin? Get your text in now. We want to know what you have going on and what you need us to be aware of. The all-new lineup here on The Fan, 6 to 9, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor Thomas and Josh Alrech. 9 to noon is coming soon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. Noon to 2, the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis, presented by Verizon. 2 to 5, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. And 5 to 6, fan postgame show with Tommy Wartz, who I hope is at home napping now, or is he still there holding
He's still right here with me.
Oh,
the man's amazing. He's the Iron Man.
He is the Iron Man. All right, What's Up, Wisconsin is next here on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Fan Talk and Text line 414-677-1250. This segment is going to be the same every single day. We're going to call it What's Up Wisconsin, meaning we want to hear from you about what is up today in your world, whether it's sports or entertainment or the other, whether it's our teams or your favorite team, which we probably won't talk about because if it's not our favorite team, we're not going to talk about it.
I mean, it's true.
Josh, what's up with you today?
Well, I mean, it's the first day of the show, and so there's going to be a lot of stuff that I'm prepping for tomorrow, things that just, like, it's kind of like you moved in to a new house and you're giddy to hang up that jersey that you had framed that you were like, you didn't have a space to put it in the old house.
Right.
And you just immediately saw it, but you didn't have time to put it up yet. I'm putting up the jerseys today. So going through a lot of that to get stuff ready to go. And then I think there might be some sports on later.
There are really later, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, let's start a brand new morning show. Oh, are the Brewers on the West Coast? Yeah, they are on the West Coast. It's perfect timing.
Yes, it's incredible.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, they play the Padres at 8:40 p.m. local time here
Central.
Tonight, Central, yeah. So, looking forward to that.
I'm going to need a nap.
Oh, you got to get used to the naps, brother. The naps are coming.
Is that a daily thing for you? Are you going to be a daily napper? Teach me your ways, oh morning wise one.
Listen, for a long time, I tried going without the nap and just pushing through. And then I'll tell you what happened. After dinner, I was a blob. I was awake, but I might as well have not been. I was no help at home. I was no help to myself. I was literally just like still awake. And so you got to learn to love the nap, and you got to limit the nap. You can't take a 3.5-hour nap. That's just going to bed. And so it's a science. It's a science, but you'll get there. It's day one.
I got a big JV1 football game tonight. My oldest is the center for the JV1 football team that he plays for, Fox Valley Lutheran. Big game tonight, so I've got that in the hopper. I don't know if I'm going to have time for a nap, to be honest. I've got a busy day, and I'll pay for that tomorrow afternoon, though. Not today. Today, I'm flying on adrenaline, man. This has been a blast.
Yeah.
And it's like all day ones, though. Today was kind of orientation day.
Yeah, syllabus day.
Yeah.
You just get handed the syllabus. It's the best day of the year.
My wife said to me last night, "Are you prepared?" And I said, "As ever as I am going to be." Josh and I were on the horn literally every day for the last weeks leading up to what could be. We have show plans, and we're going to throw them out the door if they present other opportunities. Like a lot happened today with the Packers yesterday and the Brewers last night. So we had a lot to talk about, but there are segments coming that we believe you will enjoy. I really like the I have questions.
Yes.
I have questions.
Yes, because there are a lot of questions. Yes, we have a lot of fun segments coming up. Very excited.
The talk and text line is just spewing Josh love, and it's amazing. Josh, I am so happy to hear you on the air again, my friend, Josie Mars.
Oh, Josie. Love Josie. Miss you, girl. Thank you for coming along.
Here's somebody wondering if you're still going to do your big old bowl of chili every Friday.
Well, it's a good question. I've been asked it a lot, and, a lot of people, even when they found out I was coming back, they were like more, even than me being on air, they were more curious. Will I be getting that big old bowl of chili from my friends at Natty Oaks? Time will tell. Time will tell. As you mentioned there, Jovan, it's Friday. The chili comes on Friday. So make sure you're listening all week, and you'll get your answer on Friday.
For those of us that have no clue what you're talking about, that's me.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
There's a restaurant in town. It's called Natty Oaks. It's a great place to go. It's on where National and Oklahoma meet. And they have really good chili. But they give you a bowl, which to me is not big enough. So you go and you ask for the big old bowl, and then you get the proper size bowl of chili. And for me, that happens on Fridays.
Every Friday?
Every Friday.
All year round?
All year round.
You're not just a chili guy in the winter?
Nope. No. Not when you have good chili.
You ever heard of Booyah?
I have.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Do your best. If I said I'm going to have a bowl of Booyah.
I don't want to say. Is it an ethnic soup?
Kind of.
Okay.
I think it's a Belgian soup.
Okay.
It's glorified chicken soup.
Sure.
When I moved to the Green Bay area 20 years ago, everybody's like, oh, we're having a booyah boil. And I'm like, Stuart Scott, what? I'm like, what do you mean you're having a booyah boil? It's glorified chicken soup. But I do love a good chili, so I'll have to try this out. Natty Oaks, you said?
Natty Oaks in town. There's also the Drift Inn up by you, I believe, has some good chili. Yep.
Noodles or no noodles?
No, I don't do the noodles. I'm not against people that do. I'm not one of these people that are going to smite you should you include noodles in your chili. I like it without, though.
Man, the Josh love is awesome. You were missed, my friend.
I know. Trust me,
I'm
I'm humbled. I'm emotional right now. I'm trying to hold it together, but I'm very, very thankful. One of the things that I was talking with you about was, there was such a text line presence a year ago when I was still doing the show on the other station, and it was, will that make its way here? Will we still have people texting in over here? And the fact that we've been getting texts all morning of people who I recognize, because for years and years and years we had conversations. They heard about my family, I heard about theirs, I heard what they were doing. It means everything. This is awesome. And they will get to know you. And if you're listening to this because of me, let me tell you, Trevor is a great guy. You're going to get a little annoyed at his positivity because sometimes it's unrealistic, but sometimes we need a little bit of that. And I'm very, very excited for what we are going to be able to do in the mornings and keeping it local and keeping it what people care about and helping people start their day off right as they go through life. That's what it's all about, man. That's why I'm so thankful to be able to be here in this position with you, Trevor, is because sometimes life is really tough, whether it be because you're going through things with your family or you just got to go to work in the morning. And if we can help put a smile on a face, make you laugh, make you feel something every day, then we mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. And I'm just happy to be able to do that again.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. I'm ecstatic to do it with you as well. I am ecstatic to be the positive guy. That's kind of the MO. It's my MO. I'm not afraid to have the tough conversations. I'm happy to do it. We've had some this morning. That sucked yesterday when that field goal got blocked. The Packers did not look good. The Badgers football team looked even worse. The Brewers losing in St. Louis and yet celebrating at the end of the night. There was a lot that went wrong, and there's a lot of good to come. And so I'm just jacked to be here, jacked to be on the air with you, Josh, jacked to be doing a show that is Wisconsin sports. We've said this. If you want to have a sports talk show that talks about national sports, this ain't the one for you.
No, it's not. Sorry.
Can't do it. I actually worked in national sports in West Palm Beach, Florida when I was 19 years old. And there was a whole push for me to know everything about everything. And I said, this is not for me, because if I want to know everything, which is a stretch because I don't, I want it to be within the state of Wisconsin. That's why Inside Wisconsin's podcast with myself and John Anderson exists. I wanted to interview the state's most recognizable people in sports and entertainment and learn their story. We all know what they do and how they do it. We see that. But who are they? And we get to do that with Wisconsin sports on this show every single day. We're going to have a fun sounder from the general manager of The Fan.
Yes.
Who shared with us that this is a sports talk radio station and that we need to have sports talk.
Just sports, people.
Just sports. And so, as you might expect, we're going to get off on a tangent or two. And when we do so, we'll attempt to reel ourselves back in, and we will hit a sounder that says, boys, back to sports.
Hey, don't forget, we got to talk sports here. Got to talk sports.
Back to sports,
Make
guys.
sure we're talking to sports there.
Nicolay Law Fan talking text line 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. If you are new to the show like we are, go ahead and bank that one. We want to hear from you. We want you to be listening to a radio station that you are involved with. We want to read your texts. We will take your calls as the days go on. We just got to get our feet wet here for a second and make sure we understand the ones and twos and the ABCs. Brady from Brookfield sending love to Josh. Glad you're truly back on the air. Man, that's awesome. Josh, I know it makes you emotional. I've gotten to know you just a little bit, off the air and so on and so forth. This is cool. It's not lost on me. When we launched the show this morning and the sounder, the lead-in song that you and I worked hard on to put together and make sure it was right, the hair on my arms was standing up.
Yeah.
And we took that moment before the mics got hot this morning and just went, wow, man, what a ride this has been. This is something that neither of us were chasing, yet it found us.
It was getting back to this point and having it be something that I think both of us talked to each other and said, not only is this going to work, this is going to be great.
It's going to be great. Now we just need our teams to be great. How about that?
That would help.
Be great. Yeah.
That would help.
It does help things. And I did not jinx it.
You did. You did. I do have to say at one point, by the way, I got my Apple Watch on here. And at one point, when I got angry earlier in the show, if you missed that, by the way, this will all be podcasted on the fan website. But it did say your heart rate got a little high there. You seem to be while being inactive. It said your heart rate rose while you seem to be inactive for 10 minutes this morning. Now, I am not 6'8", a gorgeous and in shape man like Trevor Thomas. Well, you said it, not me. But yeah, so that's the thing. For my own good, sometimes I gotta take those deep breaths. But was I pissed, really pissed with all the things that went wrong over the weekend. So focusing on division champs. Yay! That's the big thing to be happy about today. The Brewers, division champions.
9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff is next. We will see you tomorrow morning here on Inside Wisconsin Sports because
we are not done yet.